everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I'm continuing to work on my mini journal today, my 1908 journal, and I have that here along with my French country journal that I've been working on behind the scenes. So I just wanted to flip you through the French country journal quickly before we start working on the 1908 journal. As you can see, they're both getting a little chunkier, and I haven't sewn in my signature yet, so they will definitely need a tie of some description to keep them together once we collate them all. So I don't think I've done a whole lot since our last video. I don't remember exactly what I did, so I think I cut my cards for the front and back pocket. I don't actually remember whether I did that on or off the camera. Sorry, I don't remember if I did that before my last video or after my last video. We have our flip out. Just flipping through, we have a pocket here that I haven't finished and a little tuck on this side that was created using an envelope that I have cut the tabs off, and I've just cut this side down and used the tab here to create the tuck. We have our pocket and journaling card, and then the little postcard that came with the ephemera kit for the French country. Of course, using kits from Junk with Steph. As you may or may not be aware, if you've been following for a while, I am on Steph's design team, so these are design team projects. I absolutely love this journaling card and little side pocket. Then I have a pocket here. Now, I do know that I created this tag off camera since we talked last, and I have glued my envelope pocket shut. I was trying to decide, I may have even created the pocket off camera as well. So this may be the first time you're seeing this pocket. I was trying to decide whether to sew around my pocket. Anyway, I got to playing with the focal point, and then I was deciding how I wanted to put it together. And the tags that I've used are from my Tea Stain tag kits, and then I've used one of Steph's tags from her French country ephemera kit as the focal point. And when I had decided on those, my tag, the large one at the back, is quite big, so I've ended up gluing it only just to allow the ease of just to allow the ease of this journaling tag to go in and out of the pocket. I decided if I tried to sew it would probably make the pocket too small. So this is some tea bag. It's a tea bag. I had this little box here of tea bags. We're going to have a play with those because I'm going to replicate a similar tag for the 1908 journal. I absolutely love the way that turned out. Okay, so quickly flipping through, what else do I have in here? I don't know that I've done much else off camera. I think both of those little pockets, this is the side pocket here, were done and shared before. Still have to do that little pocket. Oh, I did actually add my fabric belly band, and I believe I glued the lace onto this page here, but I haven't sewn down it yet, so that was done off camera. And I think that was all. Oh, and I've chosen a focal point for this tag at the back. It's a piece of stamped calico, and the stamp is from a Stampin' Up kit that I have here. I don't remember the name of the stamping kit, I'm sorry. I actually made these pieces of calico quite some time ago, and I've still got a few left, so I've chosen a piece that was pre-stamped. Okay, so that is my French country, and then my 1908 journal. I haven't actually worked on this since we videoed last, but I have gone through and I've selected some pieces to work on today. I'm a little bit more organized about how I want to do my pieces for today. So I'm going to select this journaling card to start with. And I will say that just because I have pre-selected how I want things to go in my video doesn't mean they will happen any quicker. Just putting it out there. Okay, so just inking around this quickly. I will sew this off camera. I won't do that on camera. And before I finish with the ink, I wanted to show you, I've got this kit here, which is the Old English and French Songs kit from Junk with Steph. Copyright 1920, I think it says. And this little label here, I've decided I want to use this image here as my focal point on my journaling card. I actually thought about this overnight. I don't know why, but it popped into my head late last night when I was watching TV, and I went, I know what I want to use for that first journaling card. Didn't know exactly which image until I flipped through them a little earlier. I just need to get my other scissors, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. They were just on my other desk. Now, part of me would really like to tear this, but I don't think I would do it justice if I tried to tear. So I'm going to just quickly fussy cut. I don't usually fussy cut on camera, so bear with me. Going to detach it from there. It might make it a bit easier to maneuver. Okay, and my plan was to scooch you through that really quickly so I look super fast when I fussy cut. I'm actually not. I feel like I do it in slow motion, but that's okay. I get to where I need to go. So I'm just inking around this. I don't know. I think I want to center that. I'm thinking a piece of white fabric underneath. I'm just hoping the image is going to be sturdy enough to glue to. Usually my focal points are on matte photo paper, and in this instance it's on paper, so I'm hoping this will work out okay. Actually, I want to do this. Oops. So I'm already wondering if the fabric is going to be bulkier than I would like, and maybe I'm better off using cheesecloth. I'm just going to test it out and see what I think. So I hope you're all fabulous. True confession, I should be doing the housework right now, and I decided that coming in here to play was far more appealing. I do like that. Okay, this is one of the labels that I forgot to turn off the fit to page option on my printer, and so it's cut the bottom off, so I'm hoping I can work around that and cover it over a little bit. I really like that, and I'm thinking I've got some, where did I put it? I've got some pink cheesecloth. I think I might pop a little layer of that underneath as well. That will really soften it. Okay, my coloured cheesecloth, or tea stain cheesecloth as I called it, is not colour fast, but for using in journals I'm okay with that. So if it was to be washed, for instance, it wouldn't stand up to being washed. But to use for this application, it's fine. I do sometimes need to be careful when gluing though, because sometimes the glue can make the colour bleed a little bit. Okay. I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay. May need to cut the cheesecloth down a little bit. So I'm just using my fabric glue. So yes, I should be doing the housework right now, but I really wanted to come and play. I feel like I'm getting really close to being finished with these journals. I have no paper towel, which is exciting. Mind you, I need to do my housework ready. I'm planning on doing, so it's, what day is it today? It's Thursday today. I'm planning on doing some tea staining over the weekend, so I need to do the housework in preparation. Partly because I take over a rather large portion of our living area when I do it, so I like to make sure I've done the housework before I start doing something like that. But I decided if I come in here and do this now, I can do the housework this evening is my plan. Hoping my plan comes together. Just a little bit of excess glue under there. My label's going to be roughly in that position, so I'm not fussing too much. Just a little bit of fussing. Okay, and then placing the cheesecloth down. Thought I had it exactly where I wanted it, and it did its own thing. I was like, I don't even know how that's gone down there. Seemed to be a completely different shape than what I thought it would be. Never mind. Okay, I am going to burnish that from behind. It's too tacky to try and push down from the front, so I find if I turn it over and burnish from behind, I really get it to adhere to that glue well. Okay, and I'm going to attach my focal image, and I want to get as close to the edge as I possibly can. Because it's paper, it won't be overly durable. So I'm going to open up this paper towel. I feel like I'm sitting really awkwardly at the moment. My mat under my chair had shifted and I've moved it back, and now I feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm really tall or something, and I just feel really awkward. Okay, again, I'm going to, I don't know that that's terribly straight, but I'm not fussed too much. Going to just trim this a fraction. Okay, I may even sew around her. I haven't decided yet. And I'm going to put that there. I would just like to see, I've glue all over my fingers, looking to see where I've put my fabric scraps. I had them sitting roughly here and I shifted them so that I could share the journals with you before we started today, so I'm looking for that piece that's just right. I'm thinking, oh, that could be pretty. I'm thinking I would like to use some of this scrap fabric. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing a little hand sewing and maybe using it on some sort of journal cover. That's not quite big enough. Okay, can I separate that fabric edge, the factory edge, sorry. I really like it when it plays the game properly. Almost there. Oh, I won't worry about the rest for now. So I'm going to cut that about there. So I'm really just playing with scraps and I'm trying to just cover that bottom edge of the label where it hasn't printed properly. At the same time, it's adding a really fun little detail. So I do need to cut this. This piece of fabric frays really easily. I'm liking that. Okay, so hoping it goes down the same way I had it. I say that sometimes and I go to put it back once I add the glue and it never looks the same. Just checking I was happy with where it was. I'd like to see a little bit more of that number 19. I'm just wondering if I can trim. Like where? Oh, you're from the cheesecloth. Okay, and do I want this little piece of lace here? I do think I like that across there. And I'm going to call that done. So when I sew around that, I will likely sew the threads and bits and bobs. I will likely sew just a straight stitch across here. I may even do a couple of rows. And then I'm going to zigzag around the outside, and I'm calling that journaling card done. I think it's really, really pretty. It's quite simple and I love it. And I think she suits the journal beautifully. Oh, she's fun. Okay. So, oh, this was something else that I had. I've decided to turn this into a little flip. So it will flip up rather than a tuck, because I already had quite a few tuck type pockets, I suppose you could say, in this journal. So this is just a piece of packaging paper, and I've already cut it to size. I've made it the length of my page. I probably won't remember which page I had it on because my journal has sort of closed up a little bit. Never mind. And okay, I want to see if I can ink the die cut. I don't know how well this will go. If I could ink all of those little intricate holes, I would, but I don't think it's going to be possible. What I will do though actually is going to pop it down and burnish over the top of it. I don't know if you can see, but the edges where the die has cut are slightly raised, and so they kind of catch the light and make themselves more noticeable when they do that. So I'm hoping I'm trying to be really careful because this could tear if I burnish too hard. Okay, I feel like that's a little bit better. That actually makes me happier, even though I haven't inked the whole thing. I'm going to just see if I can ink the back. I honestly don't know if this will make a difference, but it will make me feel better. Oops. Isn't that fun? Okay, I am going to do it from this side just lightly. I feel like because it's going onto the brown paper, it can take that little bit of extra ink on the front. That makes me really happy. Okay. I wasn't sure I'd like it if I inked over the top. So, to glue this down, I'm hoping my art glitter glue will work for me. The one thing I didn't do before I hopped on camera was to check and make sure my glue was working. So bear with me. Okay, we'll try this. Do you know what? That's not working. So I am going to see if I can use the glue stick keep your fingers crossed for me. This could turn messy, but it's just taking way too long to try and clear that glue. Oh, this might work better than I thought. Hip hip hooray. My glue unfortunately has dried at the tip where I was trying to glue, so that's unfortunate, but oops, which way? I think it goes this way. Okay, I'm going to turn that over onto my paper towel. It's very tacky. And just giving that a good burnish. Okay, and then I like that there, and I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking a piece of cheesecloth actually. And may even double up between the white and the pink. Do a little bit of each. Do I want both? It wants me. I'll leave those there so that I don't use them when I'm not supposed to. They're my fabric scissors, so I do like that. I wasn't sure I'd like the double layer, but I do. So my fabric glue, which I've left open, that's a big no-no. Okay, I will need my paper towel because being cheesecloth, it will seep through. I just want to remove, I've got cheesecloth stuck to my fingers. This was a scrap piece of cheesecloth, so it's been floating around in my little tray. Just want a little bit more glue under here. And then I'm going to add this piece on top. I'm adding glue and hoping for the best. Oops. Okay. And don't need it to be perfect, I just need it to look nice. So I'm just burnishing it down where it is. Just peeling my paper towel away carefully. Voila. Okay. And then I think I need to have True confession, I have baby wipes and they're on my desk to the right in a little pigeonhole where they live, and my sewing machine is just, I'm almost touching my sewing machine, so I actually cannot get to the baby wipes right now. I've been bringing the sewing machine across to this table and sewing just lately. I just find it easier to sew here with the light that I have, and I have a lot of things on my other desk, so it's kind of worked a treat in both respects. Just getting the orientation where I want it for that little focal point. And I love that. I'm calling that done. I'm not going to do anything else except to stitch around it, just to add that really beautiful sewing detail, probably a zigzag I'm thinking. I love that this is slightly off center. I didn't want it in the middle. Okay, so I need to add some tea stain paper to the back. And I'm going to leave myself about an inch or so when I attach that. Oh, do I want... Okay, so I may tear the edges slightly. No, I think I'll do it differently. I think I will tear the piece. I want uneven edges so that you can see the packaging paper from underneath. So I think I will do it this way and just add a separate tab at the top. So where do I want my tab? I need to tear with my other hand because the last time I tried to tear with my non-dominant hand, it didn't go well. Say about there. So this becomes my little tab. To attach. And I am going to tear this to size, and then I'm going to tear my edges. I'll just pop that there. I really just like the idea of that layered look, which is why I'm doing this. And I've shared before, I love packaging paper, so the idea of still being able to see that makes me happy. Okay. And I like that, so I'm just going to ink that up. I need to close my fabric glue because after I throw my ink brush around, I'm on a mission. I feel like I'm so close to getting this journal finished. I just want to, and I've got an idea of what I want to do now with some of my pages that have been eluding me as far as directions, so I'm a little bit excited about that. And I do really want to share with you what I'm doing for this journal, so I'm trying to do it all on camera for you. which I hadn't really intended to do. I was going to do some of it, but not all of it. But every time I go to work on this journal, I feel guilty if I haven't got the camera on. So that's why it's ended up being that I've only worked on one off camera. And I've even struggled with that. I've struggled with the idea that I'm actually making a journal without you all. So I don't know why. Okay, that has taken a little bit of that image off, but I actually don't mind that distressed look. Sorry, Steph. It seems to be how this new to me copy paper works. I'm going to just quickly distress this. I'm going to see if I can glue this underneath. Okay. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm just doing one side. So just one side or one half of that little tab. Okay. Oh, these little pieces. This is going to fray over time, and I actually like the idea that that will happen, but it does make for a messy. Okay, I knew I had missed inking somewhere on this side. I just want to get my scissors, which I've buried. It's a little bit better. Okay, and so where was I putting this? Oh, I cannot, I was nearly going to attach that then. I think that goes there. I need to sew around it first. So I'm just going to, see, I think that's really pretty. Oops. It'll just have a zigzag stitch around the outside to add an extra detail. Just keeping it relatively simple. Excuse me. I haven't organised tags for there yet. I'm not quite sure what I want to do on that tag yet, so oh, and we have a tuck there. Okay, so we're up to this. Right, so what I do know is that my tags are too big in a length, so I need to take a ½ inch off each one. I apologise for my croakiness in my voice. We've got the fire going again, and every now and then I get a little bit of dryness in my throat, and my voice catches, and it's very frustrating. And I worry when I'm videoing that it happens. Whoops. I'm doing this awkwardly, aren't I? Okay. So this is how I did the tag for my other journal. off camera. So just removing that little slither. And I need to back this with some tea stain paper. Just getting a new piece of glue book. Okay. I've shared with you before, when I'm cutting using these scissors, I don't feel like I'm doing it properly. Like, I just feel like it's a hot mess. And I realized the other day when I was in here crafting without you that my scissors are actually slightly bent. Which is why, like, I can be cutting straight and all of a sudden there's a piece that looks like this on the edge, and I just keep going, what am I doing? Well, it's actually not me, I'm happy to report. I was like failing cutting with scissors. Oh my gosh. So yes, those scissors have been with me for a very long time. I think it must be time to get a new pair. I have my mixed media scissors, but I don't really like using them when I'm cutting like glued pages and things. It's probably what they're made for, but I don't know. I just keep referring back to my old faithfuls. Okay, so that's that one done. I need to ink these two. And I just remembered I need to punch the hole in this one as well, which I'm probably just going to use my large crocodile. Okay, so I just have it set on the largest hole, and I know you can't see properly and I'm sorry, but so I have these little craft hole reinforcers. I've gone ahead and I've inked over some of them, so and the one I used the other day wasn't this hard to get out. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep those little holes or not. I feel like there's a use out there for them that I haven't discovered yet. Okay. Just adding some ink around that hole from the back. Hoping that it won't be quite so noticeable, which it isn't. It is taking that white away just a little bit. Okay, so my tea bag. Okay, I'm going to add the string to this one. So all I did was I opened up my little drawer of scrappy strings and I found a piece that I thought would work. The other piece that I used was actually almost the perfect size. That's pretty close actually. No, I want it to go this way. Oh, I'm really distracted, I'm sorry. We're coming into allergy season and my nose is so itchy right now. Thinking to myself, no, you cannot scratch, you cannot scratch, you cannot scratch. Okay. So I love that. I'm okay with this unraveling a little bit. I may add a little bit of glue. The other one I glued down, so I may do the same to this one. This rope I'm just noticing is a little bit thinner than this one, which I think is kind of fitting for the style of journal that I've chosen. Okay, so I do want some sort of label. So I have my labels here from Junk with Steph. And I don't remember which label kit this is. Oh, I think the bag is in here. Specimen Labels Volume 3 is what we're using. Straight away, this one has jumped out at me. I do plan on sewing around the other one still, which I haven't done yet, so just want to pop this in place. I just need to check roughly my placement, and this is the good thing about keeping this little pocket open for now, is that I can easily open it up and check. If I had it closed, the paper clips wouldn't fit in properly. Now I know that this little image isn't going to be exactly in pocket, but I just want to try and make sure it's showing enough. And I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Just wondering if there's a slightly... This label here kind of determines how low I can go. So I feel like I can bring that down just a fraction more, and sometimes that makes such a difference. I like it. I'm not in love with it as much as I'd like to be. I think it's the colour. I don't know why that one looks so much nicer over the top than this one, than this one does. But it's giving me an idea. Oh, I don't mind that. I don't mind that over the top, which means I can scooch that down just a fraction. I want them touching almost. I actually don't mind that. Something very bold about that large print. You can see that in the window. No. No, I think I'm going to stick with that one, and I'm going to pop it over the top. Oh, and then I just noticed this one. No, it's just not the right colour. That's okay, I like this number one. Okay, so that is that. I need to quickly ink that so it's ready. Okay, and then from there I need to work on my tea bags. So what I did is I just took one of my tea bags. These tea bags were actually opened out straight after they were used. So these are the tea bags that I've used in my tea staining. And I get an ice cream container and fill it with water. So it's about half to 3/4 full. And I open up my tea bag and I sit them inside the water, inside the container with the water. And I open up the tea bag and all of the tea leaves will float to the bottom, and majority of them, you might get the odd straggler. It leaves the tea bag floating on top. And so from there I can pick it up and I can just rinse it in the water, and then I lay them on paper towel so that they're flat and leave them to dry. They don't take very long, and I do iron them afterwards, and that's how I get that even colour over the whole tea bag. So in case you're wondering, and I just tear off the very edge. I'm barely holding on to it to do that. Okay, and what I did was I sort of concertinaed my fold, and each time I folded it I left a little bit extra. So I'll just see if I can do this one. So it's a little bit wider than the edge here. And then when I fold over here, I'm going to make this one just that little bit wider. Oops, and I have to come this way because, have I done that wrong? No, that's okay to start with. So now I want to make this side smaller. So bigger on one side, smaller on the other. This is one of those instances where it's, you know, do what I do and not what I say, or something like that. Okay. This way. Basically, you're looking for that layered look. So once you get going with it, you kind of kind of figure it out as you go. That's all I can tell you about that. Okay. Now I've confused myself. This way. There's a way to fold it so that you can actually see that your layers are working roughly the same size. Okay. So I just want to check this one. I think I did go an extra layer. Nope, this way. Okay, so it leaves a little tab at the bottom, which is, I feel like I've got one too many layers because I had a much bigger piece to glue down to start with. I think I like that. And so when doing this, I'm going to glue this piece first, and then this goes down over the top of that. And then that glues down and my piece of lace goes in here. So these layers here are the ones I need to sew. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly sew that. I won't do that on camera for you. For the 3 seconds it will take me, it's not worth reshuffling my camera, so I won't be a moment. Okay, so I opened it out one more because I was worried that it wouldn't fold properly. And I've just gone ahead and stitched a little zigzag stitch, and now I'm just going to fold it back up into place. The bits that aren't sewn can be glued down. Okay. So just lining that up with the edge, and I think I want to bring it down just a fraction. I'm happy with that. Okay, so gluing that into place, just taking some care because it is fragile. Tea paper bags are quite fragile to work with, so I don't want it to tear. Okay, and then this tag here can go over the top. Just checking on my placement. Glue everywhere. Okay, and then this next layer, so this next pleat of tea bag can get glued down. And then I'm going to pop this little label down. Trying to remove my excess glue without making a bigger mess. Okay, and then this one. Just want to check how far down I want to bring that. So I think I am going to attach it over the top of this label. Okay, so I want some cheesecloth underneath. I might turn that around that way, because this bit here won't be over the label. Oops, my glue. Sorry everybody, I'm not talking very much. I'm just trying to get this down before it ends up a great big mess. Okay. I'm tempted to raise that just a little bit, I think. I'm hoping it won't affect how it looks in pocket too much. The other thing I did was I added a little bit of extra glue at the back of that string just to try and hold it in place and stop it from fraying. No, I like that. Okay, so that is where I want my tag to be placed. So burnishing from behind just to lock everything in. And And then I want a little piece of lace or ribbon or something. Not quite wide enough. I'm wondering about cutting that piece in half. Okay, I like that. It's a little bit bulky, but I still like it. Oops, helps if you open the glue. Just trying to get an idea of where I need my glue to go. I think that's the right way around. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that last piece of tea bag down. Over the top. And I am going to see if I can just lock these strings in. Just trying to grab a hold of them so I can twist them a little bit as I pop them down. There we go. And then I just need a topper. Okay. Just removing those extra pieces. I need to trim down the bottom as well. I think that will work. So just popping some glue to hold it in place. Making sure it's roughly centered. And then the same on the back. Okay, and I just need my scissors, when I find them. I just find these smaller scissors a little bit easier when trimming. Now I've left quite long strings on these. I might just trim these a fraction. I don't want to cut them right off. And there we have our tag. I am going to add a little bit of glue down here. I try to add glue where I don't necessarily want it to fray too much. And because that becomes the detail, my tea stain tags are really pretty. I love them, but they are quite plain, and so that becomes the detail over the top, as opposed to stamping or placing an image or something like that. So, okay, so that is my tag done, and I love it. So off camera, I'm going to sew around what we've created. So I'll just flip you through. We've made this little tag, or journaling card rather, today. I probably will add a bit more glue to that because it's going to be popped in and out of the pocket. We did our flip up. Again, it needs to be sewn around. And then our tag, we finished off for our pocket, which goes on the back page. And I will sew the tag around the tag off camera, and I will glue my pocket closed, ready to attach that to the journal. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I've got a great sense of satisfaction out of making all those pieces ready for this journal. I've ended up in quite the mess, but I feel like I'm that little bit closer, and I probably need to go now and start making headway on my housework so I don't feel guilty about that. So thank you so much to Steph from Junk with Steph for allowing me to showcase your beautiful digitals. I really love the way these journals are coming together, and they just make me happy. And I wanted to thank you all for joining me. Please everybody, stay safe, stay inspired, and happy crafting. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.